Hey, it's your favorite Stacy here again. This time in fantastic Russia, in Red Square. In case you can't tell, this is the Onion Church. Oh, I forgot the name, mind blank, but that's the Kremlin. I'm in Red Square in the middle of Moscow in Russia. And look, I'm just gonna warn you at the start, if I get interrupted again, this is my fourth take on this video because people just come and start talking to me. It's never happened in any other country and it keeps happening here. So if someone comes to talk to me, I'm gonna flat out ignore them for your sake and mine, because I'm losing my brain. And I forgot the name of this thing, but it's nice. Do you like my red hat? So today's a really cool talk. Today can be the difference between you working in a crappy job you don't like and finding a business or a particular line of work that is perfect for you. And this is the discovery process on how to actually find that. It's something that I did only recently, and it was a really enlightening thing because I actually did this study myself after hearing it while I was doing a long drive one day, listening to an audiobook as I do. This guy said to pull over and he said stop doing what you're doing and record everything you've done in your life. Everything you've done as a work chore, as a hobby, to make money, or to to be involved in some way, volunteering, or just some kind of community activity. And it said to actually write those things down in chronological order and to really focus on anything that I was so sure they were going to talk to me. Oh my god. They were looking straight at me the whole lot. To really record everything. And for me, what I did, I started when I was 14. I was a milk run. I used to take a milk run. So I started recording that, and I worked in petrol stations and cocktail bars and all this kind of stuff, pizza delivery, recorded everything. And I looked at where I lived, how I lived, who I lived with, what I did for work, what I did for fun, what I did for volunteer, what was my social circle, what was my my personal things that I was involved in, whatever it might be. And what I did, I got this big long list, and I went through with a highlighter and highlighted all the things that were relative to each other, all the things of the same family. A number of things came out of that. Firstly, I found that I was in share accommodation for nearly 20 years. So I've been in share accommodation since I was 17, right through, it was 37 when I did it. And so what that did straight away, I was like, okay, I'm an expert, straight up expert in share accommodation. I've got 20 years up my sleeve. Not many people have got that. So I went from there to to get a network of share houses, and now it's a good income for me, and it's a business I'm very proud of. And I'm looking to duplicate across different cities and scale it up quite a lot because it's designed really well from having faith in what I saw through this process. I was like, wow, I really do have something to talk about in this. Like I could speak to the community council about that or something. I also found that I'd done events a long time, and I was like, okay, so I can do events in social circumstances and in professional stuff. So now I've started to make money out of both of those environments through analyzing my history and seeing those things come up over and over and over and over again. Now in your mind you probably think, yeah, but I know myself. I know what I'm good at and what I'm bad at and so on. I would have assumed that too. However, I followed the instructions as per the brief from this guy who was a really successful guy, and this is his advice. So I thought, okay, I'll just do it. I'll do what I'm told to do. I'll give it a shot. And I got a lot out of it. It was a big surprise. So I highly recommend you do it. Things like maybe you're involved in the church. Maybe you're always the one that fixes the lawnmower for your neighborhood. Maybe you're always involved in school camps. Maybe you're the highlight of the life of the party. Maybe you're always throwing Christmas parties. Maybe you're always the one that bakes the cakes, or maybe you're just the one that's the rock in your family. When something goes wrong, people call you. Maybe you're that caring person that people love to be around. Maybe you're the wife, maybe you're always the energetic one. Write those things down. You've always been energetic, you've always been this social person, or maybe you've read a lot of books or watched a lot of films. You never know what it is until you actually record it and highlight these consistent things, because from there you can actually weave a matrix. And the key to this exercise, the fruition of this exercise, is to take a couple of these things that you see as consistent and actually stitch them together. So for me, I can give you a couple of examples of what my friends have done. In fact, a friend of mine, he's really athletic. He plays AFL. He's really fit and does acrobatics and all that sort of stuff, backflips. So he's really good when it comes to sports. He passionately loves sports. He's also a school teacher, and he passionately loves mathematics. So what he's gone and done, and he loves to like the kids. He loves to see them grow, and he loves to be of service in that respect. So what he's decided to do is put those two things together: his passion and talent, his passion and skills and hobbies, and then his personal, professional environment. So what he actually does now is teaches kids who don't get the maths in the classroom. He takes them out to the soccer fields and on the football field, and they throw basketball hoops and stuff, and they record the percentage, the average, the angles, and all that sort of stuff of the sports. So all of a sudden, the kids that didn't want to be involved in the classroom, they're now out on the sports field, and they love maths. They don't want to finish. They're fired up, and they get it. They really get it, and the parents are so in love with this, my friend. It's a great business. Another friend of mine, he's been in construction for 20 years, senior project planner. However, what he loves is small domestic projects, high budget domestic projects like nice houses by the beach, that sort of stuff. If I got photo bombers, they were standing in front of me taking photos, just meters in front of me. I'm the backdrop. They like the hat. I don't know if you noticed that people really like the hat here. So what this guy does, he actually has taken his corporate experience where he's learnt the jargon and the lingo of the high-level construction industry, and his passion for these, like newlyweds or couples that are building their dream home. They're passionate people, he really wants to be involved in that special part of their life. So he's taken these jargon skills and intertwined it with the needs of these couples and put them together to make a consultancy, a unique consultancy, a niche market, where he helps them get the paperwork through using his skills, contacts and jargon and his network and so on. Really good business, his own micro niche. He's working a few hours a week and he loves it. He's getting paid really well to serve people that he loves to be around. Do what you love in service of those who love what you do. It's just like the other guy with the kids. He loves the soccer, he loves the kids love him, the parents love him, he's happy, he's getting paid well, people are starting to talk about him, his business is expanding, and it's the same as the guy in the construction. I can give you plenty of examples. What I did when I analysed my life, I found that my businesses were actually that. The things that I had evolved into were a consequence of putting 2 or 3 things together. So what I want you to do is to get that list, and it might take you an hour or whatever, and just write down everything, and leave gaps. It's good to do it on a Word doc because you might find that something's going to slot in there and so on, and then go through and highlight them and have a look and see the consistencies and see if you can take this skill or talent or tendency or hobby and stitch it with something that you can make a product out of. Maybe it's a product or a service. Maybe you can write about something. I could write on share housing. In fact, I started writing a book on it. I've written a book on promotional work. I've written a book on this life design stuff. I could write a book on tour guiding and corporate tour guiding, corporate event management, that sort of stuff. By analysing my history, I can see the consistencies. I can see that I'm an authority in particular things, and I want you to try and do that for yourself. Just go for it. Write that big list. Because now you've got your to do your bucket list, your be do have list. You've done your mind maps. You've done your perfect day, and put together a bit of a timeline, perhaps a vision board. You know what you want, and now you've done your home budget. You can see where your money's at, and the next step, of course, is to start something where you get to make money, but you love what you do. You're not just slaving away at the grind like every other old cat and dog out there trying to chase their tail and pay the bills. You're doing something you love. I had another guy who went through this process, and he realized he was wanting to start this business. He wanted to start an agency, and towards the end of going through this type of process, he realized that he wanted to actually create a business where he goes to neighborhoods, gets the elderly of the neighborhood to generate interest in the community for the youth and the elderly to get together and to actually clean up the dirty streets as a profit venture paid for not only by donations from the community but by the council as well. So it's a profitable thing where it's of service to the community and it makes money. So there's that sort of stuff, and he looked through his life and he found that those are the things that he'd been consistently involved in, so he had the authority to speak on it. Anyway, I think that's enough. I'll show you around Red Square. 9 minutes. You're probably falling asleep. I hope that wasn't too long. But this is Red Square in Russia. I hope you've seen some Russian poses behind me. They always do this one. Let me show you. For some reason, there's this Russian habit. They kind of go like that. They're everywhere. I could show you handfuls of them. So that's the History Museum, I think. Really nice shopping center over here. And that's all like the Kremlin, and the city's really fascinating. We went to an incredible nightclub last night. One of the best nightclubs I've ever seen in my life. It's amazing. Anyway, adios, I'm going to let you go, and So I hope you get it. I hope you understand what I'm getting at. It's about finding those things, stitching them together, you know, and it's a great idea, so definitely give it a go. Mwah. From Russia with love. Hope you're having an amazing day, and I'm gonna take this hat off because it's so hot out here. It's really warm. Okay, cool way. You rock.